32, Group F. Let's get right into these player introductions. Spotting in the bottom left
Yeah.
corner. He is your blue Terran representing. Nya! It is Panda Prime.
And his opponent down or up in the top right-hand corner of Overgrowth from Cannabinoid?
Cannabidiol.
Cannabidiol. It is a red Zerg player, Vitross.
And a pretty standard opener coming out of Panda Prime. He is sending out a Reaper, and he's going to have another follow-up Reaper. So he might send out 2 or 3. It's generally pretty safe to get multiple Reapers out there. Of course, it's going to delay your factory a little bit, but he's actually going to go ahead and almost get a drone kill, but he's going to force that drone to make a Spore Crawler, which is going to, of course, be a bit of a waste of minerals, but he might get surrounded there by those lings, and now he's going to go ahead and get a little bit of a scout. So already a slight victory because Vitross having to waste 57 minerals to save that drone's life.
Yeah, just a few minerals, but better than
It
losing the drone.
is what it is. It's not a big deal, of course, but anytime you can get anything like that, it's because Reapers are supposed to do nothing but scout. Of course, if you get multiple and then your Hellions come in, now you're supposed to be, using them to inflict damage. But
Yeah, I think with 2 Reapers, it's okay to just have a Spore built, so long as you cancel it, of course. But
right.
yeah. Oh wow, PandaPrime going really greedy. 3cc behind this, and Factory's gonna hop on over to that barracks and start making most likely Hellions.
Yeah, we'll see. I hope we see Hellions come out because that's what's going to be able to give him the time to make the 3 CC work.
Yeah.
Of course, Vitross has not scouted it yet, and Vitross is going to go ahead and lay down a Roach Warren. So actually, that's a pretty good counter to the 3cc because, of course, if you get early Roach aggression, well, 3cc, you're not really going to have the units out. It is holdable, it is defendable, but if PandaPrime's not going to scout the Roach Warren and he's just going to keep on making Hellions, and they don't really trade very well against Roaches, but he does have a Tech Lab on his barracks now, and maybe he'll be making Marauders sooner rather than later.
Yeah, it'd have to if Vitross does decide to go for a big old Roach push, but I don't think he will. But we don't know. I think if he did, he'd do it in reaction to the scouting, and the scouting overlord is coming in now, so it could well see that 3rd CC building. In fact, it's going to be the first thing it sees. And a couple Roach started by Vitross, but those should just be to drive away the Hellions for now. He could use them for aggression later if he gets a few more.
Yeah, he's got 5 Roaches in production right now. Typically, you'd see a little bit more if he was going to make any sort of push. And right now, he is still droning up and, of course, keeping his creep spread alive and doing those little macro things that Zerg is notorious for. If you look back home for Panda Prime, he's got his tech going up, so he's got STEM started, and he's just producing Marines and Hellions right now. And he does actually scout the 3rd, but the Roaches are going to come over here and deny the aggression, and now PandaPrime knows he has Roaches to work against, so of course Marauder production instantly started after scouting the Roaches.
Yeah, really nice reactions by PandaPrime. He sees what he's up against and starts building the appropriate units. Oh, I love the Viking coming out of the
Overlord's going to be RIP and P.
Yeah, there's at least 3 Overlord kills it's going to get here. These 3 Overlords on Vitross' side of the map are going to, on PandaPrime's side of the map, are all going to go down. And it might even be able to pick off 1 or 2 more. That Overlord just below Vitross' main base is on a drop scouting pattern, but I don't think it'll be there for that much longer if PandaPrime has anything to say about it.
Yeah, and a Baneling Nest goes down for Vitross as he starts 1-1 upgrades. Stim is still a long way from finishing, but he is going to have his armory here finished up. So those Hellions are going to probably morph into Hellbats pretty soon here, and that'll give him that much extra support against Roaches in the mid part of the game.
Yeah, but with the melee upgrades, I don't think Vitross is going to commit too heavily to these Roaches. Usually, if you see any kind of Roach play, it's with it's missile attack, and I'd expect to see a 1-1 Roach timing in response to this 3cc. And if it hadn't been 3cc, or if Vitross just didn't want to go for that, I would have thought transitioning into a 2-2 Roach Hydra timing. But with the melee attack upgrades, it looks like those Roaches were just for safety in case of, it helps to either way to fend off the Hellions, and just in case of a Hellbat push, it's very, very nice to have those Roaches out. But yeah, transitioning into a more standard link lane muter sort of style of play later on for Vitross.
Yeah, he is getting, of course, Ling speed. Is it? Yeah, where's the centrifugal hooks? Yeah, Baneling speed just started. So we'll see some quicker little blobs of gas floating around this map. We do have that 3cc pan dividends off a little bit now as a little bit of a Marauder Hellbat push starts to come out. The Spire was started some 25 seconds ago, so this push is probably going to have to work before the mutas pop out, because once mutas are up, this is getting cleaned up. There's nothing really that can shoot up aside from a couple Marines, and they're not with this main group here. And there are actually Overlords spreading creep at each of the expansions from PandaPrime. So once PandaPrime finds that out, he's gonna be a bit of a sad panda, because he's noticing that he's not gonna be able to expand too quickly. This army is just chilling on creep, and I don't really like this idea. He needs to, like, generally when you push on a creep, you need to be throwing down scans, get rid of creep, and being a little bit more tactical about when you take your engagements. Marching right up this ramp, he doesn't know what's up here, and it is a bunch of banelings and lings, and everything is just gonna explode. Really tough engagements to take from PandaPrime, and everything goes down in a matter of seconds. He had no vision of the top of that ramp. He was marching onto creep. He didn't have any sort of idea of what he was up against, and banelings just absolutely leveled everything, and now the ling counterattack is in full flow.
Yeah, Baneling speed's just about to finish up. There's still a few Banelings left over. I think he needs to back off a bit and morph up some Banelings if he wants to punch through this. He doesn't have to, of course. He can just sit outside. Oh no, he's going to.
Yeah. Okay. Oh my God, how many Banelings?
37 Banelings.
Jesus Christ! Yeah, it's coming. Here it comes, PandaPrime.
Going to be 39 Banelings.
Yeah, this is going to be a massive bust. And the thing is PandaPrime throws out his scan, but where did it go down? He doesn't see the. Yeah, he scans the main. He has no idea this is coming. And it's actually coming in right now.
Oh my God, that Widowmine.
Baneling bust. It's going to get what? Took out a bunch of them, but those Banelings are going to go ahead and destroy absolutely everything in their path. So many Banelings, Zartos. This takes out a command center. Jesus. What do you do when you're PandaPrime in this situation?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Vitross committed a lot of gas to that. I mean, 40 Banelings is nearly 1,000 gas. In fact, it is 1,000 gas. But PandaPrime, okay, PandaPrime's pulling the boys. We know it's a good idea.
Yeah, he's pulling the boys. I don't know. I mean, against Zerg, to be perfectly fair, I've never done it because Banelings are just a thing these days.
Yeah, no, in all honesty, it's actually not that great against.
They've always been a thing. Yeah, and he lost that entire command center, and he already has the second back home. I think he needs to be reestablishing his second. Here comes the scan. All these SCVs are going to get Baneling busted instantly. The Lings give a shroud on the main force. The Marines aren't really splitting. Widowmines aren't really getting down and burrowed, so this army's going to get absolutely cleaned up. Widowmines are going to get a couple of shots off on roaches, but in the end, not really getting anything done, and PandaPrime's going to call the GG. All right, it is Shakur's Plateau. It is game 2 of the second match of this Group F. And we have, spawning in the top left, he took game 1 pretty handedly on Overgrowth. He is representing Cannabidiol? Is that what we decided it was? Cannabidiol? Representing Cannabidiol Gaming, it is your Blue Zerg player, Vitross.
And his opponent down 1-0, spawning up in the top right-hand corner of Shakur's Plateau. From Team Nya, it is PandaPrime.
Nya!
Nya!
Yeah, and he got slightly rolled last game. He got a little bit devastated there, and it wasn't like he was behind on macro for the most part. He had a decent build and he was executing it fairly well. He just took one really bad engagement and it snowballed out of control for him.
Yeah, I think so. These I didn't know these spawn locations were actually allowed on Shakur's Plateau because I just assumed because the Reaper and like Blink Stalker routes.
Yeah, it's allowed. It's just not I think the like vertical spawns.
Yeah, no, that would be even sillier because of course the naturals are like C-snack range from each other.
Yeah, you can say hello.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that PandaPrime didn't go for a Reaper. Because I would have thought it would be really, really good in these spawns. Of course, I guess he didn't know what the spawns were. But
yeah, no, Reaper's really good. You're right. Reaper's really good on this map. We do see 2 canceled gases on the natural. That wasn't the assimilator trick to get more supply. So I wonder what that was. Maybe he saw something he didn't like, or or something. But yeah, no, I think Reaper is a really good choice in this match because you've got on this map you've got a lot of places to hop up and down, and of course the rocks at the top deny you getting in there with any sort of units. So you can just hide your Reaper and bring them back and keep bringing them back, and especially when you need scouting information, which of course you always need scouting information. It's really good to just chill your Reaper out over there, and then just every now and then come back to him and poke around. But of course, no Reaper, so not really worth talking about right now. He's just going straight into Marine production and doing his macro. Meanwhile, Vitross has got that Roach Warren up. He's going right back where he came from.
Yeah, I think it's, once again, just going to be Roach Warren for safety. And I want to see where he takes his third, because I think the traditional third location is slightly forwards in a triangle, sort of below right of the main, if you look at Vitross's base. But I've seen a lot of Zergs more recently take the one that's just almost straight down from their natural and go for a sort of three base.
You don't think that's like super easy to get cut off from that, because it's like 2 ramps as opposed to going down 1 ramp. So
I think it is really easy to get cut off. But on the other hand, it's not like towards your opponent. It's much further back from your opponent, so it's much stronger against those sort of parade pushes, and it's not really close to those silly high grounds where the Terran can drop tanks.
Yeah, and Vitross does agree with you, and he is going to go ahead and take that. Yeah. So PandaPrime is he went with a 3 racks opening, just providing himself a bit of safety, getting his stem up a little earlier. And one thing I want to talk about is choosing that base location. If you're if you manage to cut that off, you're of course denying the reinforcements of Zerg, as we do have a bunch of roaches coming across, because of course the hatcheries are the production unit for Zerg. So if you can get in between, then that cuts off the reinforcements. So we do have this roach coming up and pushing. We have some SCVs pulled, just Marines right now, no Marauders. They do get 1 roach, so I think this bunker's going to hold. He needs to put those Marines right back where they came from, though. Don't get a little too excited.
Yeah, PandaPrime just getting a little overexcited there and pushing forwards. But at the end of the day, he took a bit of health off the roach and lost a bit of health on his Marine, so nothing really happened. Of course, Vitross did trade a roach for an SCV a little earlier on, which is pretty nice. And checking for that third base is a nice bit of scouting information. But there's actually no third base in sight for PandaPrime, so I think he's going to be making some kind of aggressive move, probably with his first couple of medevacs.
Yeah, he does have his starport, of course, and we see a bit of a difference. Vitross is going for missile attacks as opposed to melee, so he's going into roach play, it seems like, as opposed to the Ling Bane Meta style he pulled off so well last game. Stim is about to finish up, and we do have tanks on the way for PandaPrime, at least 1 tank, and Marine. So looking more of that standard Wings of Liberty style, maybe paying homage to the map. So we have tank Marine coming out for PandaPrime.
Yeah, well, the tanks are really good on this map because, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, there are those 4 sort of high ground locations that, if this map was remade for Heart of the Storm or something, would be impassable terrain. Like, you wouldn't be able to drop units on them. But this was made in Lings Liberty, so you can just like plonk your tanks there, and they're completely safe against Lings. And it's very frustrating to play against, but very good for the Terran. However, playing against Roach Hydra, that's not so much of an issue, especially if that infestation pit is used for a fast high for Vipers, because Vipers are so good on tanks. They're one of the main reasons why tanks aren't used so much in TVZ anymore. And I really like Roach Hydra versus Terran. I play Roach Hydra almost like every game versus Terran. Have a lot of success with it, and I think it's a really fun style. There's a lot.
I would consider it to be the mech of Terran, like the mech of Zerg rather. Yeah, it's the you get your army composition that you want, and it's really strong at taking engagements, of course, against Bio. It almost trades 1 for 1. It's always better against Bio on even upgrades. So really strong composition, Roach Hydra. We do have 7 Hydras now on the way, as well as speed and I think range. No Hydra range just yet.
The Hydra range is just about to finish, actually.
Oh, it is. Okay, good. Yeah. So we do have range on the way, so of course that's going to make those asshole Hydras that much more damaging. Supply lead for Vitross, but not too big a deal. It's 2 bases to 3 right now for the most part. 1 base was taken for Vitross at the bottom there. So, Vitross is really content to just chill here and really wait to see what PandaPrime has to say about the whole thing.
Yeah, and Vitross did go into that really fast hive, so that's going to serve him very well against tanks. And he's starting his 2-2 upgrades, and at the minute, PandaPrime doesn't actually have any eBays even. So he is going to be so outscaled in upgrades. By the time, if PandaPrime starts his eBays like about now, his 1-1 will be finishing up about in time with Zerg's 2-2. So that's really not good for him, especially with the Hive so quickly. The 3-3 for Zerg is going to be starting pretty much right after that 2-2 finishes. I wonder if Roach beats a Viking. I don't know.
Hold on here. What is it's close. Roach is going to win this for sure.
Roach is going to win.
Really close.
Yeah,
down to 18. We do have PandaPrime.
Yeah.
Oh, three siege tanks going to get caught
bad.
right out in the open. That's a huge pickup. That's the main force of his army that's like providing the splash damage in the back, and he just lost it all for free. Now he's caught on the ramp. Marines out in front. They're going to get a little blasted. One siege tank reinforcing from the back, but they're going to get caught out by the reinforcements of Vitross. This Bioforce is going to stem and come right on top of these Hydras, but he's got another army that he's going to have to deal with right here. And Vitross already taking a commanding double supply lead, and PandaPrime's going to have to move out of here. He needs to pick up and boost into the main and cause some damage that way, and that's exactly what he seems to be doing. Like, where else does he go from here? There's spores and roaches in the main all ready for this drop already.
Yeah, that was really, really nice done by Vitross. Catching those siege tanks out of position was so good for him. And then PandaPrime had to engage down the ramp, which meant the Vitross' units could get a huge, big concave at the bottom of that ramp, and PandaPrime just had to sort of funnel down it. And now Vitross getting his 4th base up, and PandaPrime still no 3rd in sight even. It's just started now.
Oof. But you don't start a 3rd when you run into an army that big, because you're going to see that attacking you shortly. You need units at this point in the game. Like, I see what he's saying. He has to make a play, so I'm going to make a 3rd and try and go for it. But you have no way of defending this 3rd. You're just producing siege tanks and Marines, and by the way, there's still that many roaches and hydras on the map. You're down 100 supply. I don't want to be a naysayer, but PandaPrime essentially needs a StarCraft 2 miracle.
Yeah, Vitross is tripling his opponent's army supply right now, and that's really not good. I think when the 3 Vipers come out, they're going to consume away at some hatcheries or eBays or something, and when they're up to full energy, Vitross is just going to push across the map, get the blinding clouds he needs, and crush through the natural. But miracles do happen. PandaPrime could pull something off if his siege tank spread is really, really good. Maybe. Yeah,
he needs to read it, and the problem is he's misread Vitross seemingly from the beginning of the series. So PandaPrime needs to know. He needs to be scouting, of course. There's no units outside of his main and natural right now. Like, he doesn't have anything on the map that sees anything coming, for the most part. And so he doesn't even have combat shields just yet. He has started it, but that extra 25 hit points on a Marine is huge. He's going to pull SCVs. Hopefully he puts them on auto repair on the siege tanks, but he needs to consolidate his army and pull something off here. Like, I really don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to see. He is going to go right on the creep, taking out the first queen he sees, and now the Roach Hydra army is actually pulling back a little bit, but it's not going to be afraid. He's just waiting for him to pull his army a little bit too forward on a creep, and this engagement is going to, of course, tell us what's going to happen here.
Yeah, the Vipers come in. The SCVs are doing everything they can to tank, but blinding clouds go down on all the tanks, one of them able to fire most of the bio, and I don't even think he needed the blinding clouds. There's just so much Roach Hydra here. PandaPrime.
And a laugh from PandaPrime says,
good natured to the end.